Hey, everybody, Kevin here with Pursuing Pixels, and welcome back to another edition of Save It for the Cast, and you know the drill by now. This week we've got the full crew in the house once again, and this little chunk of conversation coming up here, a little bit on the shorter and sweeter side, which I feel like I always say every time, both for my intros and for the chunk of conversation coming up, or at least a lot of times. But this is from a little chunk of conversation from last week's holiday episode before we sat down. We actually recorded 2 episodes that night. But the conversation coming up here is pretty much mostly John, thanks to his handy-dandy spreadsheet. And I guess maybe just going through the previous, listings of the episodes of the, holiday editions we've done in the past. I can't believe this is our 7th holiday episode that we just put out. But yeah, we just kind of recap and reminisce all the, top 3s that we've had over the years and all the resolution games, and even just being shocked that I knew DJ was there for the first holiday episode, but I didn't know he was there for the second one. So just a little reminiscent coming up here and just kind of recapping some of the games that we've talked about over the years and that we've loved over the years. And in some cases with our resolution games, at least with me, maybe not so much. But yeah, just a lot of fun reminiscing coming up here. And I'm going to try to keep it on the short and sweet side here with the intro because my back and body have just been killing me. And I've just had a pretty busy, I was going to say weekend or week here, but honestly, the last couple months with the holidays and everything and wrapping up 2025 just definitely been a little bit on the busy side. So, I haven't had a ton of time to get much gaming in outside of the, stuff I've talked about on the podcast proper. But there have been a few games I've been playing, in particular on my PC during the Steam holiday sale. I ended up scooping up a handful of games for super cheap. I think many of them were under $1, but definitely none of them were over $2. The games that I'm going to be talking about here. The first one that I want to give a shout out to is called Geballer, and that's Geballer. And this is a game from Stuffed Wombat. We've talked about a couple of their games on the podcast over the years, or at least 1 or 2 of them. I'm a pretty big fan. I think Mosalina is the game that we've talked about the most on the podcast. But they've made quite a few really cool indie games over the years. And Geballer is no exception. This is a game that you control entirely with your mouse. And basically you just have your cursor is your character on the screen, and it's like an arcade bullet hell kind of situation. And there'll just be a little collectible that you have to pick up. And as soon as you pick up that collectible, it'll start filling up this meter around the border of the play area. And this is a single screen, play field that's shaped in a little, it's not a perfect octagon, but I believe it's an octagon shape. But basically, or maybe it's a hexagon, but either way, you're kind of, zipping around with your cursor, and then as soon as you pick up one of these collectibles, it'll trigger a bullet pattern, so it turns into a little bit of a bullet hell, but you can get pretty strategic with it in the sense of, you can kind of watch how the bullets react after you pick up, so you can realize, okay, as soon as I pick this up, if I'm heading in this direction, it's going to fire 2 bullets, out in front of it, or a spread shot out in front of it, and then they're going to bounce off the walls and head back at me. And each level just kind of throws a new twist onto what those bullet patterns will do, or how they might react, or if they're going to bounce off the walls, or if they're going to zigzag back and forth. And it's just constantly throwing a new little twist at you. And it's just really fun to play a bullet hell game where you're controlling your character, if you will, with the cursor. Because basically, you're just trying to pick up enough of those collectibles to fill up that meter all the way around the outside border of the stage. And then once it's totally filled, you have to get 1 more and it'll complete the stage. But if you wait too long to pick up the next collectible, it'll start draining that meter really, really quickly. And then you can take 1 hit of damage. You can change some of the settings, but by default, you can take 1 hit of damage, and then it kind of has a cooldown before it fills up, and then, you're back to full strength. But if you take another hit too quickly, maybe within 5 or 10 seconds, then you end up losing a life. But it's just a really fun, really addictive game. It seems like it's very, speaking of short and sweet, it seems like it's definitely, it doesn't have a ton going on, but it has endless modes on each level. Just a very, very addictive game, and very fun, very stylish. Just having a lot of fun with that one. And then on over into another game that you play entirely with your mouse or your cursor, although a little bit different. You're not necessarily controlling a character as the cursor itself, but this game's called Orb Tower. And if you're familiar with Puzzle Bobble or Bust a Move, as it's known over here in the West, single screen arcade game from Taito, kind of a puzzle game, hence the Puzzle Bobble name. But in the original series, you have this little kind of turret gun at the bottom of the screen that you just control. You see what bubble is going to be coming next, and there's a ton of bubbles up at the top of the screen, and you just have to like, shoot whatever color you have next, try to match the colors and get them all to fall down. And the twist with this game is that it's basically that same type of gameplay, but it's throwing like a roguelike or a roguelite, twist to the mix. Where you have, in this game, you play as like different wizards, and each one has like a slightly different, ability or skill set, and then you can clear it on easy, medium, and hard. I've cleared easy and medium with a couple different characters now, and then they all play just a little bit differently. Like I've only done the first two. The first one has like a scope sight as like its passive ability. So you can like basically see like a little preview of where that shot's going to go. And then the other twist that I forgot to mention is instead of that turret that's shooting the bubbles down at the bottom of the screen, being stationary right in the center, in this game, it's just moving side to side at all times. But after each stage, you can get different power-ups. Like you can potentially buy that scope, even if you're not the character that has it, or the second character starts with bombs and gunpowder. So in that case, you don't have to necessarily get a match for the colors. You can just launch your bomb up in this direction, and with the gunpowder, it's an even bigger explosion. So it just can clear out some of the tiles that maybe you don't have enough to make a match with, or there's not a good enough pattern. So it's like, okay, here's just some random, scatter shot of, they call them spells in this game, but the little like, puzzle bubbles or whatever. I can shoot my bomb up in that direction and just blow those away and, not worry about having to get a match over there. So it's just a nice, fun little twist with each character. And again, being able to either buy like a health upgrade. Some of the bubbles will have like little coins in them. And then as you collect coins after each stage, like 10 coins will let you refill some health, or for like 15 to 20 coins, they'll have some new passive abilities and upgrades. So, if you're able to hold out and not take too much damage, because basically at the end of each stage, you have a limited number of spells or bubbles that you can shoot up, and then any bubble that you don't clear off the stage is going to do damage to your character. So if there's 10 remaining, it's going to do 10 damage, or in some cases they might be poison, so they'll do double damage. So just a cool little twist on like a classic, simple game formula. And with that, little turret thing at the bottom of the screen moving back and forth, it's a little bit easier with that first character with the scope, but even still, sometimes it doesn't show you exactly where it's going to go. It's just a fraction of the line. So if you're trying to bank it off the wall and then get it to slide up into a certain slot, like you're not going to see exactly where it's going to end up. So you still have to use a little bit of that skill. And then one other game I just wanted to give a quick shout out to that I've been playing entirely with a controller, unlike Geballer and Orb Tower here, is a game called Shooting Saucer. This is a game that's been on my radar for a little while just because I love the pixel art and the aesthetic of it. I can't remember how it stumbled across my radar in the first place, but added it to my Steam wish list and then saw it go on sale for under $1. So I was like, okay, well, this is an absolute no-brainer, even though it probably was even at the $5 price tag. But this is like a side-scrolling run-and-gun, very arcadey video game, but it's pretty cool. It's got like a unique twist. There's 3 different characters you can play as, and it feels very similar to Caro Blaster, if you're familiar with that game at all. I've gushed about that one on the podcast over the years, speaking of some of the top games we've talked about or favorites over the years that'll be coming up in the conversation here. Although I don't know if that game comes up now that I think about it, which is crazy, because I'm almost positive that would have been on one of my top 3s. But nonetheless, it's definitely got that Caro Blaster style and like the pixel art and even the gameplay, in the sense that like at least as the main character you play as this little like almost like octopus looking alien creature that it's just running and gunning, running to the side and holding down the fire button. And in Caro Blaster fashion, like you can hold down the fire button and you'll keep firing to the right, for example, if you're already firing that way, and then you can backpedal, or you can even fire straight up and keep running forward. And there's just like enemies coming from every which way. And then it's kind of a little bit of an auto scroller, not in the sense that the screen is scrolling with you automatically, but there's a UFO that's essentially chasing behind you at all times, and you have to outrun that. And then on top of that, if you take one hit, you're automatically dead, and then the UFO will scoop you up. But you can pick up these little orbs that like kind of level up your character if you pick up enough of them, maybe 10 or 12, and you'll level up and just become a little more powerful. If you pick up enough of them and level up 3 times and then keep picking them up, you'll start earning extra, 1-ups and everything. And then there's 3 different characters to play as. So that first character has that Caro Blaster run and gun style gameplay. But then the second character you play as this like candle that has like a little orb, circle radius around it, or circumference, I guess. And then the way you damage enemies is just by getting them within inside of that radius. So like just standing close to them, it'll start doing damage. And then as you level up, that radius gets a little bigger and you do a little more damage. And then the third character you get every time you collect enough of those orbs and level up, or maybe it's just every time you collect an orb, you kind of create like a duplicate version of that character, and you're just controlling like almost like Pikmin style, like a mass of these characters all at once that I can't remember what their attack method is, but nonetheless, you just have a swarm of, characters that you're able to control and just try to, make sure as long as you don't lose, your very last one, you can just keep going. So that's kind of the way your health system works in that regard. So the gameplay itself, like the level structure, is exactly the same for each character. But the way that they throw a unique twist into the gameplay with each, play style for each character is just really, really cool. And again, the pixel art and the music, it's just super charming. I'm having a ton of fun with this game, a ton of fun with all three of these games, actually. And I think I spent less than $3 on all three of them combined, or maybe less than $4 for sure. It was under $5 to just keep, I guess, upping the amount. But yeah, I could go on here and talk about a few other things, but I think I'll leave it there for the intro here and kick it over to John, Randall, and I for, like I said, a little recap of the previous holiday episodes over the years. I'll try to remember to put a little link to John's spreadsheet here, which I think I forgot to do for the holiday episode, but it's just so fun to look over all the games we've talked about over the years, at least for me anyways. But nonetheless, I think I'll kick it over to that conversation here, and hope everyone's 2026 is kicking off to a good start here. And until next week, we'll catch you then, and take care. I forgot DJ was there for the first one. I kind of thought he was out by then. Yeah,
apparently.
Oh my God!
What?
Yeah.
No way. Well, I guess the first one.
Well, let me give you a recap. So in 2019, which apparently is our first one, Kevin, you had Octahedron. Randall, you had Blossom Tales. DJ had 20XX, and I had Risk of Rain 2.
Nice. Oh, that's amazing.
That's a good list right there.
Wow. And then our resolution games were Transistor for me, which I don't think I put much time into Transistor at all.
I actually beat that game. Yeah.
You did?
I did, yeah. I think I talked about it on the podcast at some point, but it was a rare game that I finished all the way through. Although it's one that you're meant to play again and play again. And
then DJ would pick Deadbolt, Randall, yours was Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, and Kevin's was Undertale, which
swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. You even bought that game for me, John. I feel so guilty about that.
No, it's fine. But that threw a wrinkle in for me. Then Chasm was our almost unanimous game of the year for that, which was
I forgot about that.
That rules.
That game rocks.
It's so good.
That game rocks.
I did pick it back up recently, and I didn't dislike it, but I was just like, this is a little rough at the beginning. So I think
it's a little simplistic too. I mean, it's definitely a simple game, but it's just nice.
It is a good one. And then let's see, 2020, Kevin, you had Lonely Mountains Downhill, Carol Blaster, and Daniel Linson and Matt Ugg as just overall.
I got to get one cheater in there every time.
Randall, you had Animal Crossing, New Horizons, Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, and Streets of Rage 2. DJ had Invisible Ink, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, and Hades. And I had Animal Crossing, New Horizons, Hades, and A Short Hike. And
nice.
Damn.
Resolution was Murder by Numbers. DJ had Deltarune. Randall had Ori and the Will of the Wisps. And Kevin had Hyper Light Drifter.
Man.
2021.
Damn.
Kevin, Iris and the Giant. Die in the Dungeon. Punk Cake Delicio.
I just rebought that game on Switch.
Nice. I had the Dark Souls series, Metroid Dread, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2 HD.
Nice.
Randall was Micro Mages, Metroid Dread, and Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Resolutions were Panzer Dragoon Saga for Randall, Dicey Dungeons for me, and Luigi's Mansion 3 for Kevin.
Hey, I've been playing that lately.
Yeah. I know, it's really interesting to see the resolution games. I think those are the most interesting.
Yes,
dude, we are loving that game. And we stopped playing. I cut us off today. All right, no more games after this. And then he kept saying, "Can we play your games? Can we play your game?" And then eventually he was like, hey, can we play Luigi's Mansion? Like he had stopped for a while, and I was like, no. I was like, we said no more games. He's like, no, like for real. Like he wanted to like go around the house with the flashlight like we were doing last time. And
Heck
like,
yeah.
you know, and he's got such a good imagination. Like he like, oh, like I don't know. I might have told you guys the same thing, but he'll like just open up doors. Like usually I feel like it's the adult that's like, oh, look, there's a ghost over there. Like he'll just go, shh, there's a ghost sleeping over there, you know? And I'm just like, man, that's awesome that he's just like imagining this like whole living Luigi's Mansion in our house.
It's
adorable.
Anyways, yeah, sorry to sidetrack.
No, you're fine. 2022, Kevin, you had Ali World and Below. I had Elden Ring,
what
Rogue
a
Legacy
list.
2, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Randall had Bowser's Fury, Panzer Dragoon Saga, and Elden Ring.
Nice.
And then Randall, you chose Dungeons and Doom Nights for your resolution.
Oof.
I had Heaven Will Be Mine, and Kevin's was Anodyne 2.
I didn't put enough time into that. I got to go back to that one.
Then Game of the Year for 23, Kevin, you had Pikmin 4, Jelly Car Worlds, and Juru.
Nice.
I had Tears of the Kingdom, Heaven Will Be Mine, and Risk of Rain Returns. And Randall, you had Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and Resident Evil 4. And then East Book 1 and 2, Disco Elysium, and Return of the Obra Dinn were our resolution games.
Those are good.
Okay.
And then last year, it was Fire Tower, Draenus, and Shogun Showdown for you. Outer Wilds, Disco Elysium, and Hexel for me. And Balatro, SNK versus Capcom, Card Fighters Clash, and East Book 1 and 2. And then, as we all know, our resolutions were Yakuza 0, Umineko When They Cry, Uncharted 4, Thieves' End. One of them was decided.
Randall found a good one.
I did indeed. I had pretty good. I only struck out like once or twice on my resolution there. That way, I'm not feeling too bad that way.
Yeah.
I was surprised I had 2 resolution games that ended up being like my game of the years.
Yeah.
Like between Disco Elysium and Outer Wild, or Heaven Will Be Mine.
Yeah.
I feel like now that you say that out loud, I remember having that reaction when we recorded them and being like, dang, nice. Like your resolution game made it to your game of the year. Like when we recorded, but yeah, that's cool. I don't think I've ever had that happen to me.
I think it's happened.
You play
3
so
times
many
in the
more
past.
games than like Randall and I. Like picking one game at the beginning of the year and then like
I don't even know though. I feel like you play as many games as I do, man. These days, at least, maybe not at the like when I was in my heyday of like going fucking ham on those indie games, like
you
for
still
sure.
do though.
But these days,
like,
I don't go as nuts.
You would do a save it for the cast every other week. Like you were,
yeah, but it's but it's not like I beat those games.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like I just play them for a little bit, and I'm just like, oh, this is a cool little game.
I mean, I never beat Disco Elysium, but.
Yeah,
pretty
but I mean, sometimes
experience.
we're talking like a lot of these games I play, even the ones I talk about on the regular podcast, I play for like an hour, at the most.
I've been there.
I shouldn't say at the most. Some of them I play for a lot more than that. But
I am glad
a
I
lot
did
of
that
them I'm like,
because-
I got my fill.
And I was saying how I didn't have a resolution game like cemented, and now I'm torn between 2.
Nice.
I've got one, but it like in a weird way. It's not at all, but in a weird way, if I pick it, you guys might agree, but it feels like almost too similar to my last year's pick
It could be okay.
in a weird way.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, if that's what you want.
Yeah. Yeah, not that I have a problem with that. I'm just trying to decide if like that's what I want to pick for me.
It is very
Because
interesting
I obviously
that I went
Uncharted
with,
4 was a big miss.
basically 3 narrative games in a row. And like this year was full narrative, no game.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I tend to try to pick something that like I know that I definitely want to play, but it's more on like the periphery of something that I'm likely to fire up. Other than like obviously like Anodyne 2, I was kind of just like, okay, I need to like, I love Anodyne. I just need to like force myself to give myself the nudge to play that one. But like I try to pick something that like, okay, I've been out of the loop of like playing AAA games for a while. Like, so I'm going to pick Uncharted 4 to try to like get myself back in the swing of things with that kind of stuff. Or, I try to pick something that's like steering me, or like Earthbound or something like that, where it's like, okay, I want to play this. I don't really like JRPGs, but I want to experience this game. You know, that's like where my head's usually at for the resolution games.
Mine's usually like, I've been meaning to play this game for so long, and I just need to like have a reason to do it. Like that.
Exactly.
Kind of,
Yeah.
Like
yes.
The
Always
only thing
interested in this
me
thing.
from playing this game that I know I will like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Literally. Yes, exactly. That's how I've used it every year. Yes, so like I'm very interested in this. I know myself though, and I'm just gonna goddamn default to Star Fox 64 and NBA 2K over and over again like an idiot until I'm a 60-year-old person that hasn't played any of these games or whatever. You know, it's like I can't have that happen. It's time to play some of these games now.
All right.
Yeah, especially now that the pace of cool video games is not slowing down.
No,
you know, like if anything, there's just more and more of them. You know,
for real.
I've got a new resolution game, so I'm ready to go whenever.
I'm ready.
All right.
Clap.
So we're doing the snake.
Oh, hey, that's always a good idea.
Good call. So we're doing the snake. Me, what was it? Me, you, Randall, you, me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we do all three. Do we do all three and honorable mentions? Like we just jam pack it all at once? Yeah. Okay.
What do you mean jam pack it? Hold on.
I can't narrow down these honorable mentions anymore. This is gonna be
like I think
a nightmare.
Like we don't do like top three, like all three of us, and then do our honorable mentions. Like we do all. Like I do my whole. Together. I say my piece. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Then you pass the baton.
Like yeah, you do your top three and your honorable mentions in however order you want to do them.
Correct.
And then toss the ball to the next.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I'll follow your lead. I'm good at context clues. We'll get it taken care of.
I think we've done like a mixture of like I think like some of us have like started with our honorable mentions and then done our top three, and then some of us have done our top three and then finished with the honorable mentions. Yeah. So okay, so I'm at like 11:30.
16:35.
We're not precious about form. I'm at 11:30 as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
As we are going to see when it comes to my section.
All right, here we go. I don't know why I feel the need to say boom after almost every single clap we've ever done.
Feels like a boom.
It's just like I just got to do it. Maybe it's because I don't hear the clap.
Click, boom.
Who was that? I was going to say POD, but no. Yeah, saliva.
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord, saliva.
Precious brain space.
Say take up brain wrinkles for. Yeah.
Great. I'm so glad
stuff.
that's there.
I know. The things I could use my brain power for.
Curtail these precious memories.
Instead, I still know all the words to Hootie songs. Yeah.